So I'd like to give a rundown of the major transits for the rest of August 2026. And for the 23rd, the sun enters Virgo. And we all know what Virgo is, don't we? That's and of course what the sun is. The sun is your how you show up, how you entertain, how your pride and ego is. And so it'll be going from Leo into Virgo, and so the things that Virgo rules are it's an earth sign, it's practical and adaptable and mutable, rules the sixth house of work and health and daily routines and pets and habits. And so we went from the fifth house of Leo, which is more your fun and children and entertainment and so forth. So we'll be more focused now. The sun will be more focused on work and health and routines, pets, habits. I also include Gemini because Mercury also rules Gemini, and that's the rules the house of communications. And Gemini is intellectual, adaptable, mutable, rules the third house of conscious mind, communication, siblings, elementary education. And so where you see Mercury, you see traits of both of those signs. But for the focus of the sun, where you'll be showing up more is toward the Virgo side of it. And these are some of the traits that Mercury and Virgo and Gemini have. They rule communications, focus on details, short trips, your thinking, sociable, learning, witty, clever, routine, siblings, daily tasks, health, practicality of work, curiosity, analysis, caregiving, efficiency, intellect, research, study, health, logic, lower education. These are themes, so themes that you'll be focusing on while the sun is in the house of work and health and um, your intellect and your mind. So also on the 23rd, the sun will trine Chiron, and Chiron is your emotional wounds and psychological, where you are sensitive, where you feel like you cannot heal yourself. And currently it's going through Taurus, and Taurus is your earnings that you earn through your own efforts, uh, through the work of your hands. Um, Also luxuries and possessions and so forth. And so you may be feeling a sensitivity toward those, getting your routines and so forth, about your work and your possessions and so forth. You may have some sensitivity while the trine is going on between that. Your wounds are being affecting your ego and pride. And so that happens on that same day. And then on the 24th, Mercury will be trine Lilith. With Lilith is a point in the sky where uh, it's kind of uh, it's where you feel like you have to completely take back your power, uh, where where you in mythology, Lilith was the first wife of Adam, and she did not want to submit to his desires, and so uh, she represents rebellion from and holding on to your own values rather than giving in. And so while Mercury is trying there, you may feel your communications may be more rebellious, maybe, or around religion, or because it's in Sagittarius, Lilith is working through Sagittarius right now. It could be religion or your philosophies, or you might, really stick to your guns, uh, um, and so in your communications, because Mercury rules communications, and um, while it's uh, in um, Leo, um, that's your ego is involved. So you might be a little forceful in sticking to your guns, and not giving in on matters of philosophy and religion, and so forth. And the 27th degree is where Lilith is right now in Sagittarius, and that's us. It's the galactic center is what it's called, and that may give you a sense of mission or fated purpose, or you may feel like you're having downloads that are faster than your mind can process, or themes of truth and freedom and synthesis beyond what Sagittarius normally embodies. So on August 25th, Mercury opposes the North Node, and the North Node is a fated, a destined happening. So when Mercury is opposing that, there's some type of communication that is destined to happen, and it may be a tense communications, tense conversation that you need to have, and it involves your destiny. And right now the North Node is in Aquarius, so it could involve some type of revolutionary idea, or uh, maybe you're wanting to be more individual than someone wants you to be, or something, or um, maybe you're rebelling against something. Um, what it is that your communications, or your maybe it could be something you're learning that is destined to happen, and you're having some type of difficulty with it, with the opposition. And it can involve your ego, because Mercury in Leo involves the ego, or pride, or children, or your how your sense of entertainment, sense of how you show up. Could be something to do with romance, maybe a romantic partner, and you have fated conversations, and maybe with the um, energy of wanting to be individualistic, there could be, possibly talking about the fate of your relationship in a romance. So on August 25th, Mercury enters Virgo along with the Sun, which I've already spoken about, and so it would be a lot of repeating myself, but extra emphasis on all of the things that Mercury rules. You could be extra busy, could learn something new, could really focus on those duties that you have around the house or caretaking that you have to do, routines or pets. It could be studying, could be short trips. Suddenly you have a whole bunch of them or something. And then anyway, it's a double the effect with the sun and Mercury in its own sign of Virgo. So that's the energy that this will bring. And August 25th, Mercury trines Chiron, and so on that day you may feel like maybe you aren't, because Chiron is in Taurus and it rules your values and your money that you bring in through your own hands. You may have some communications that are sensitive because your emotional wounds are involved. When Chiron is involved, you may feel more like you aren't quite able to earn like you like, or and you may be able to communicate it on. So on the 27th, the sun will conjunct Mercury, and so that means your sense of entertainment, your sense of ego and pride, and maybe romance and children. This is a good day for uh, communicating with them. Virgo is communications, of course, and maybe have some short trips, or maybe studies will go well. The conjunction means they work together, and so your sense of pride and ego and how you entertain yourself and um, create and so forth will work together with your communications and your mind, your short distance communications, your intellect, and your researching may go well. You might feel really busy and focused and able to get a lot accomplished in your routines and with pets and caretaking with the conjunction. And then on August 28th is the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, and it's a full moon eclipse. And I have a separate video on that, and I kind of messed it up. I was saying that Aquarius was the last eclipse, but it wasn't. It was Leo. It was the last eclipse, and anyway, the rest of it was fine, I think. But anyway, eclipses end something. It'll end something emotional, and in that other video, I have the parts of your chart that it will rule that will end in something partially. And then on the 28th, is that the same day? Mercury squares Uranus. So Uranus is in Gemini, and that's your rules your communications and your mind, your short trips, your siblings. You could have some unusual tense with a square. It's a tense energy, and so your communications may come across as explosive or sudden or unexpected, just odd. You might have some strange thing happen with big tech, that, some type of communications weird. Both of these rule communications of a certain type. And Uranus rules big tech and Aquarius energy and electricity, lightning, explosions. And then Mercury, of course, we've already explored what it rules, and it rules the mind, it rules your learning capacity, your intellect, and so you might have a tense, something unexpected happen in your communications. So on August 28th, the sun will square Uranus, and the sun is conjunct Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo, and Virgo and Gemini are involved on this slide, with both of them being ruling communication. Uranus is currently transiting in Gemini, and the sun is in Virgo. And so this is with the square, it's a tense aspect between those, some type of communication that you're having. And since Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and the public at large and your friendships, it could be um, a argument that you have, or some type of communication gets mixed up with your children, or a romantic partner, or your ego gets in the way or something of your public life, or the other way around, the public life is conflicting with your sense of how you come across, and your pride, and your sense of freedom and individuality might be um, conflicting with your pride, because Uranus rules freedom and revolutionary energy, rebellion, big tech. Could be some type of communication that breaks down, or you have to be real careful with on this particular day. And on the 31st, this is the last transit of August, and Jupiter will trine Saturn, which Jupiter is your fortune. It rules expansion, it rules good fortune, it rules long distance travel, long distance communications, it rules philosophy, mentors, foreign matters, um, traveling in general. The Sagittarius, it rules Sagittarius, which is known as the traveler, but it expands where it touches. And now with it being trine Saturn, Saturn uh, uh, restricts rather than expands. So, but Saturn rules the career, and it can you can use, maybe it'll be a good day for you to let me see, Saturn's in Aries, and Aries, it rules your self-image, so maybe you'll feel good about your career, and how the responsibilities you have in your career, and uh, it'll be a good energy with your religious philosophies and so forth, maybe, or maybe your career, uh, travel could work out well, and it would be organized and well structured with the trine. It's an easy aspect. Anyway, that's the month, the rest of the remainder of August, the transits that I saw. Thanks for listening.